friends, welcome back to Virtual Sunday School. This week we are going to learn another lesson about bravery. The last two Sunday school lessons we've had both have talked about bravery and courage. Do you happen to remember what the stories were about? The stories were Daniel and the lion's den, as well as Jonah and the fish. This story in particular is going to seem very similar to Daniel and the lion's den. This week's lesson is about the bravery of 3 faithful men. The story also has a king. However, the people's names in this story are a little bit strange. The king's name is King Nebuchadnezzar. The 3 men were known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Their story can be found in the Bible in the book of Daniel, chapter 3. They all lived in a place called Babylon. The 3 men worked for the king and had very important jobs in the province of Babylon. But one day, the king decided to build a very large 90-foot statue made entirely out of gold. To understand how tall this is, imagine 15 adults, 15 adults all standing on top of each other's heads. That's how tall this building would be. This statue would be. That's a pretty big statue. So friends, this is where our story begins today. We're going to use our wooden toys to help us tell the story, as well as our imagination. So come on, let's go.
I have an announcement to make. People of all languages, when you hear the music, you must bow down and worship the statue, because I have said so. Whoever does not obey and worship this statue will immediately be thrown into a fiery furnace.
Hey, did you all hear King Nebuchadnezzar's announcement? Yes, I did. The problem is God does not want us to worship anything or anyone other than God. After all, it's God. God made us and God loves us so much. Exactly. Why would we want to pray or worship something that isn't real, something that can't answer our prayers or help us? To worship a big old pile of gold like that, the one that King Nebuchadnezzar set up, is so silly. The gold can't hear, see, or care about anyone or anything. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to worship that statue. So the next time the music played, everyone stopped what they were doing and bowed down to worship this idol. Everyone except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Some of the king's workers that were jealous that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had such good jobs saw that they would not bow down to the image, so they immediately decided to go and tell the king. When King Nebuchadnezzar heard the news, he was very angry. I order that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought to me immediately. They must explain their actions. The men were brought before the king. Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you will not bow down and worship the image of gold that I have made? Just in case there was a mistake, I will give you another chance. You see, when the music plays again, you will need to be ready and bow down to the image. And if you don't this time, well, you'll be thrown into a fiery furnace. And then what God will be able to save you? Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we did not make a mistake, nor will we apologize for not bowing down. If we are thrown into the fiery furnace, the God we worship will save and rescue us. But even if God doesn't, we want you to know that we will not serve your God or worship the image of gold you have set up. That made King Nebuchadnezzar so angry, even madder than he was before. All right, fine. If you're going to be like that, I order that the furnace be heated way hotter than it usually is. I also command for the strongest soldiers to take Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to throw them in the fire. We'll see how great your God is. The soldiers took the 3 men just as they were, straight into the furnace. The men were wearing all their clothes, including their robes, their shirts and pants underneath that, and their turbans on their heads. These things would catch fire very easily. The fire was so hot, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the hot, hot furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar jumped to his feet in amazement for what he saw. He said, "Weren't there only 3 men thrown into the fire?" "Oh, yes, King, only 3 men. But look, I see 4 men walking around the fire, untied and unhurt, and the 4th looks like an angel." Nebuchadnezzar came as close to the fiery furnace as possible and shouted, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, followers of the Most High God, come out, come here." The 3 men walked out of the fiery furnace without any burns, no hairs on their head burned, all their clothes perfectly fine, and no smell of fire on them at all. In that moment, Nebuchadnezzar knew that they worshipped a real God, not some fake statue. God had sent an angel to protect them from harm. And even more importantly, Nebuchadnezzar realized that they truly believed and trusted in God. They were willing to die rather than serve or worship any god except their own true God. From that day on, the king made an announcement that all the people of all languages, could not say anything bad about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's God, or they would be badly punished. Again, this is the same God that we worship today. After they came out of the fire, the king gave the 3 men even better jobs to serve the province of Babylon. And friends, that is the end of our story today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the bravery of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. How cool is it that the angel appeared and protected them in the fiery furnace? In this story, I learned that God is even more powerful than any king or person in charge. God cares about us, but God also wants us to care about God too. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were the only ones who stood up for what they believed in. It was brave because they were the only 3 people who did not bow to the statue. They could have died in that fire, but God protected them because of their faith. I wonder if you can think of ways where you can be strong in your faith this week. Think about all the ways you can do what's right, even if you're doing it by yourself or you're the only one standing up for what's right. Now we're going to go over to Miss Ellie with our activity for the week. Thanks for tuning in, friends.
Hey guys, Miss Ellie here. Got a little activity to go along with our story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Did you know I used to have a horse named Abednego? I did. So for this craft, here's what you need. You need some plastic cups. If you don't have plastic cups, you could use a mason jar. You could use some little cups like this. You could use something from your kitchen cabinet. Just be sure to ask your mom. You need some markers. And the colors we need are the colors of fire. Orange, yellow, red. And then we need 3 things. Now they could be, I'm using some buttons. They could be pebbles. They could be pom-poms. Nothing too heavy or hard because we're going to be throwing them. And then we need 1 cotton ball. I'll give you a minute to go get those. All right, are you back? Okay, here's what we do. If you have plastic cups or cups that you can draw on, we're going to color them the color of flame and fire. I'm going to draw some flames on here, orange. And then maybe I'll draw some red. Now, if you're using real cups, you probably don't want to draw on them or your mom and dad will get mad. All right, then get the other cup and draw some flames on there. And put them together. Ooh, a fiery furnace. If you don't have markers or you have cups you can't draw on, just tear up some pieces of tissue paper or paper, red, orange, and yellow, and make that the flame. So here's our furnace. Now, here's the game. I'm going to toss these coins or buttons into the cup and try to get them into the fiery furnace. And then I'm going to throw this cotton ball. So this, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And here's that angel that appeared mysteriously in the flames. You can play this with friends. Each of you could be one of the characters. Or you can play it with yourself. All right, see how I do. Okay, Shadrach. I got it. Meshach. Oh, missed. Abednego. And now, here comes the angel. Oh, no. The angel missed. Let me try it again. Ah, missed again. Got it. Now, in the game, I had a hard time getting the angel in the furnace. But you know what? In real life, that angel is always there with you. So you can feel strong and safe even when you're in a fire. Anyway, have fun with this game. And if you get to where you're getting the buttons or rocks in every time, back up and try it from further away. Whoa, I missed again. Anyway, have fun with that. I look forward to seeing you soon.